Hey there, friends and neighbors. Oh, and speaking of friends and neighbors, here's our buddy Gabe Yoakum. I'm gonna add him to the stage.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, it's the Comic Industry Insiders Live. We go live every Tuesday at 2:00. We started doing these things, this little chat between ourselves, just to kind of get everything going. It's like the cold open for Saturday Night Live, only a lot less entertaining. But yeah, it's also a good way for us to all say hello. And there's Marvin. It must be a Tuesday because Marvin's here, everybody. Hi, Marvin. All right. I am going to go around the room and introduce it, but I'm going to add Mr. Brian here to the stage. In order to do that, I'm going to go around the room. And just because when we do this on audio, it's good for everybody to have a little keystone voice. So I'm going to start with Blake, the man, the myth, the legend, Blake Morgan. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How's everybody? I'm more rested, I think. All these well, everybody but Brian and I guess they were all conning it up.
Yeah, we've
2
been
weeks
at it
in a row for Adam and Megan. I think you guys need a nap. I'm pretty sure.
I did. That's pretty much all I did yesterday. Was nap. It was just one long nap.
Potato day.
Yeah. Speaking of potato days, my good buddy and partner in this crime, Mr. Brian Garside. How you doing?
It is a crime. Listen, I've been thinking about the fact that I've been going around bragging that I'm saving comics, and meanwhile, you guys are just quietly behind the scenes saving comics based on all the feedback I'm getting about Comics the Magazine.
Oh,
so congratulations!
What I'm hearing is that everybody's saving comics. There's a round table of people just saving comics around Prana and Recca and all these things is what
I will say. I truly believe that everybody who shows up every day to either buy them or sell them or make them or distribute them or blah, blah, blah. I think we're all saving comics on a daily basis, but none on this stage possibly does more to save comics than Miss Megan Marsden. How you doing, Megan?
Doing okay.
Good.
Like Blake said, we're all a little too back-to-back convention tired.
Yeah.
But yeah. Doing well.
It's hard to complain about traveling around the country and talking to people about comic books for 4 or 5 days in a row. It's really hard to do that. But I can say that one of my favorite people to talk to comic books about, the man that we're yeah, I know. Megan was right. But you know what? The steamer broke. So she was also wrong. It didn't work. All right.
You put something out in the universe to make that happen.
That literally sounds like a skill issue, though. Like literally, that is a skill issue.
You got an Etsy witch to put a curse on it or something.
Another partner that we have in saving comics will be our good buddy, Mr. Joseph Keating.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me yet again.
By the way, wrote that spectacular PR for Comics the Chair. It is perhaps the highlight of your career, my friend. The highlight.
Pretty good.
It's been a long career. Lots of awards. No one's giving you an award for that PR, and I think that's just wrong.
Well, we're still working on it. Still working on Eisner Committee. You heard it here. Best PR press release.
There is no chair category for the Eisners, as far as I know, right? No chair.
You know what? The Eisner Committee, they make their decision every year.
It's also more of an overall like furniture category. Like it's not specific to chairs. It's kind of a bigger picture thing than just the chair.
That was very furniturist of me, and I apologize to the chat. Anybody I offended.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not trying to bring anyone down with my language.
If there's anybody who could convince the Eisner nominating committee that we need a chair category, it would be Mr. Sponsorships, Mr. Sales, Mr. Nate Yoakum.
Well, hello everybody. I feel like we just did this last week. I don't know.
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah, it's like comics. They just keep coming week after week after week after week.
That's a good point. There are very few weeks in the last, I guess they're all COVID related, right? There are very few weeks in our lifetimes that didn't have new comics coming in on the shelves. One way or another, they were coming in hot.
Yeah.
Comics never stops, baby. Never stops.
And I'm glad we rehearsed this, Brian. That was perfect. That back and forth, that tete-a-tete, unbelievable.
That's my one superpower, is the ability to talk about anything with anyone, whether I know about it or not.
It's also Gabe's superpower. You two
correct.
are
That's Brian. What kind of sales guy are you? My goodness.
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of, what happened to the chair? Did it get taken? Did the giveaway happen? Did it get left in the throes of Baltimore?
I really feel like that we the chair, it was like almost a hat on a hat. I feel like we didn't quite get to a place where we were able to give it away. Just convincing people to sit in it was enough. Not that they needed convincing, but it was a lot of conversation. So we spent most of our times giving away the book and talking up the book.
Yeah.
And talking up the trading cards. So the chair, I think. Let's see. This is the here we go. This is the pad of the chair in my really messy office.
This
is going to be the I think what we're going to do is take this with us to Comics Pro and continue the Comics the Chair tradition.
I like that. I'm glad you still have it. I'm glad the chair is still in Prana's care.
Does it break down nice and small?
It doesn't. Well, you know, it's actually a transformer. Okay. So it turned itself into my desk.
Nice.
And so the Comics the Chair is now Comics the Desk and is helping me do this right now.
Leave it to IKEA, man. Unbelievable.
I know.
I was told that the chair was not made so much as formed.
That's right. The chair was not made; it was born.
Out of the primordial ooze came the chair.
Oh, the primordial ooze of Baltimore.
But yeah, Baltimore was awesome. That was a fun time. It was good to be back. It was my first time back at Baltimore Comic Con in a really long time. Mark and Shelly and Randy and Greg and everybody involved did a great job. Had a ton of fun. It was nice. Like, it's been a while since I've been like fully on the promos, you know? And so there was a bit where like actually I helped out Rekka give away something, and then Megan and I were giving away Comics the magazine in front of the booth. And I don't know, man, people seem real fired up. Like it was a really great con to officially like do that, because I know New York Comic Con did like giving away to retailers and creators and everything, but it's the first time we went out to like the masses, you know?
Yeah.
And universally, like people who got it seem really stoked. So
it's the right place to do it too. I think on a mass scale like that, I think it makes a ton of sense that Baltimore is the one that got it. The question that I have, I'm certain the question that is on the minds of many, many people out there that didn't get a chance to go to Baltimore is, A, did Adam wear the shoes? And B, did he balance a comic on his head?
Did not. I don't think I did either one of those.
Come on, man. What happened to you, dude?
There's a story Blake's not privy to. I can tell you.
What are the shoes?
Okay.
What kind of shoes?
You're welcome.
So listen, I have a reputation in comics. I've been at this for a while, kids, and for I think at least a couple of different employers in a row, I would go out to comic shows and give away free comics. Now I would do them in yes, exactly, Tommy. This started off at Valiant, and I would wear, because I always told myself I'm on stage. When I'm out there giving away books, I'm on stage, and I need to present as though I'm on stage. And so I had these. Let's see, how do I refer to them? They're like two-tone, like dancing shoes that I would wear, black and white, and they're beautiful shoes. I wore them legitimately out, like legitimately. I had holes in them somewhere around here that I still have them. And I would wear those shoes, and everybody would say, "What's wrong with your feet?" And I would say, "Well, what's wrong with your feet that you need to coddle them?" And it was a little back and forth that I had. I would get out there and I would shout free comics in a voice that carried. Let's just put it that way. Because I don't know if you know this about me, kids, but I do have I can vocalize when I need to. And so I would get real loud and I would say free comics. And then that wasn't enough, because I would stand there with a stack of them and hand them out to people. And that really wasn't enough to get enough attention. So for a long time, to also show off my incredible posture, I would have a stack of them, probably 100 copies high, 50 copies high. Let's call it that. So it's like this, it'd be like this on top of my head. And I would do the free comics. And I would just hand them from the top of my head out to people. and just walk around that way. It was, I mean, you're putting on a show. You got to remember that this is show business, friends. Comics, even at the end of the day, it's storytelling and a show business, and every piece of this should be entertaining, I think, including our dumb little program where we talk about the industry and headlines each week.
You have a good point about like table presence and selling things. Also, shout out to Matt in the chat. What's up, Matt Cole? But Joe, you ran 2 booths, or didn't you worked 2 booths?
I worked 2 booths
over the week. Yeah. Like, was that? I mean, I saw it. You worked harder than everybody else, and I'll admit that. To the group,
I don't know about that. Okay? We all played our roles.
What was that like? Kind of like, I mean, because that's a lot, and that's a lot of like, it's tiring, like putting yourself out there and like being like Super Joe right in front of everybody, and you had to kind of do that twice back and forth with different audiences. What was that like?
Well, I mean, look, everyone's got their version of it. You know what I mean? Like, I just love doing this. Like, if you're talking comics with people, it's not that hard for me. I think it's fun, And also, it was a third because a lot of my time was on the show floor talking with people we're going to be collaborating with, artists and publishers and everything. So, I don't know, man. I had a blast with it. The RECA team, some of my favorite people that I've ever met in my life, much less comics. And so I know it was really 100%. Easy. And then, and we just had a great time. And like, I saw Megan and Adam killing it too. And like the whole RECA team, like they had 2 new people, Maddie and Katia, who were brand new. It was the first Comic-Con ever, and they killed it. Like they had a giveaway as well with Bear vs. Bear, which is a book that Guillory and I did for them a long time ago, and they were giving that out like crazy. So I don't know, man. It's a good, and again, it's the vibe at Baltimore is so comics focused and comics positive that it's just like, I don't know, it wasn't work for me. I was talking to Mark Nathan, the guy who runs it, and he was saying that everyone he talked to, and I confirmed this with him, left that show feeling it was like Sunday at the end of the day, and he was saying that everyone felt inspired, and I was like, yeah, no, I felt that 100%. So
that's what I love about that show. I mean, you mentioned the whole team, Mark and Shelly and Brad and David. They all do just an incredible crew. That Josh, the guy who held down the after hours stuff, like they all just were. I don't know. It feels like a family. Right, it feels like comics. My comics family,
the family.
Yeah, comics the family. I love that. Oh well, we have 1 minute left, which means Brian needs to start a story that's going to take 6 minutes to do. While I get anxious about us going live.
Oh wow! I mean, it's accurate and painful, but still, you never like to be called out like that.
All right. Well, as we do, I want to thank you guys for jumping in for a few minutes just to give everybody a chance to come into the room. And, Brian, I'm going to see you in a minute. But Blake and Gabe, you guys held down the fort while we were doing all of this stuff. Joe and Megan being side by side with you guys is always fun. So am I happy to be home for a little while. So I can't wait to actually build stuff to talk about soon. But speaking of talking about stuff, let's hit the button, Blake. Hey everybody, I'm in the middle of a costume change. It's Adam Freeman. This is Comic Industry Insiders Live, a weekly show where we get on and we talk about all the big events that are happening in comics and the big events that are happening in the stuff that we're building. I want to welcome you to my even messier than normal office, and also welcome to the screen my partner in crime, the man who really did the lion's share of the work this week, Mr. Brian Garside.
Listen, without Blake, this would still be nothing. So it's all Blake, and I just get a tiny little bit of the credit for coming in at the end and looking like a hero. It's kind of my MO though.
Listen, Stephanie Girk, if you're watching this, I'm too busy to clean my office. Sorry. Yeah.
Clean offices are for suckers. If you could see behind the things that I've strategically like hidden back here, oh my gosh.
The floor is even worse. You don't even want to take this in.
Can't walk my floor. That's how you die down here. That'll kill you.
As we mentioned in the pre-show banter, a lot of convention moving around this week. I know we're going to be talking about some of that, but how have you been? You've been mostly home for the last 2 weeks. You feeling rested? You're feeling refreshed?
I actually am strangely, yes. Like this is the busiest time of my year because it's like my son's birthday, anniversary, birthday, my wife's birthday. So like there's literally a 3-week period where all we do is eat cake, pie, and turkey, because there's also Canadian Thanksgiving in there. And so it's, a bit of a coma from all the sugar from the cakes and pies, and a bit of a coma from the turkey, and then on top of that, just all kinds of love, So it's busy, but it's been fun. And so man, the colors on the trees and everything right now are so gorgeous right now.
I bet.
I went for a really nice drive on the weekend, and it was like, wow, yeah, this is beautiful.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you. That's so great. I'm looking forward to getting out and seeing some of that here. But also wanted to talk about what we're talking about this week, which is our first Comic-Con for Comics the magazine. It was at Baltimore Comic Con this last weekend, and it was such a good time. We talked about that in the pre-show banter. I cannot tell you how much I love that show. It's so wonderful. But
it's so great.
Before we get into all the stuff that we're going to talk about this week, including that, we have a very special way for you to win this set of Comic Industry Insiders, the trading cards. So we do a podcast every week. It airs every Thursday, both on our YouTube channel and our, any of audio podcasts that you follow. We decided to do trading cards for some of our favorite episodes, and you can win a full set of these, the first 6 that we've done with some of the really spectacular people. One of my favorite things that, once again, Blake, singing Blake's praises, it's the Blake Show, is on the back of each one is our favorite inspirational quote from each of these wonderful luminaries inside of our industry. So please do follow along with Tommy and Jeremy, who have both put in #insiders into the chat. And we'd love to hear from you in the chat too. And hear any of your questions. We're mostly just going to be the two of us talking this week. So we'd love to have you guys kind of chiming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's actually quite a bit of like audience participation in this one. I've got a few different questions, especially around one of our very, very first topics that we're going to talk about this week. And I really, really want to hear from other retailers, because some of our thesis comes off of chatter on the internet, but chatter on the internet is not always accurate.
It's not really indicative. Accurate. It's funny. I was just talking to a man named Sandy Resnick, who currently works at Webtoons, and he was talking about being at DC the week that they started getting sales numbers from retailers, and the funny thing, the first thing they noticed was how many retailers were on that list who did incredible sales numbers for them that they'd never heard from.
Yep.
And how low the sales numbers were from other retailers they heard from all the time.
Yep. It amazes me that some of the people with the largest and most loud opinions in our industry have not actually had a Diamond, Lunar, or Penguin Random House account in 10 years.
Yeah.
We won't name them, but
they have their own YouTube channel, so you don't need to be named. Each week we like to talk about a lot of the stuff that we're going to be dealing with here today, and definitely a best way to keep up with what we're doing is the Prana Bullet. It's a newsletter that we put out once a week. It goes into your email inbox. You don't have to register with Substack to get it. You just got to give us your email address. Go to our website at pranadm.com and put your email address in. It's a beautiful site that was done by someone who probably should remain nameless.
Really, they should, yeah. Because they don't want to make more websites right now, so they should remain.
If you put your email in, you will get the very next one. So thank you, Brian, for that pretty site. All right. You want to get into some headlines?
I feel like we need like a beep, 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 beep kind of thing.
We kind of do.
Yeah. But let's talk headlines, because this has been a good week. There was not a ton of like breaking hard news, but there was some really interesting stuff. And there's some things I think that we can have some really good conversations around. And that's what I'd love to do. So let's hit it.
Absolutely. So they came in fast. They came in hot. They're covered in plastic. They are the thing that everybody seems to want to talk about is these blind bags. And I think the real question is, are they already done?
Yeah. And like, let's hear from retailers what you guys are seeing. And I'm going to tell you what we've seen. And just looking at kind of not only online chatter, but just kind of numbers that we're seeing internally. I will start out by saying, I got to hide that one and show this one. So the Blind as a Batman did really, really well. And kind of across the board, people saw that go really, of course, this is all predicated by Battle Beast. Although if you look on sites like Cover Price, like Battle Beast #1 blind bag is selling at around cover price. So it's not like it's hitting massively on the secondary market, but with the Batman stuff, it did fairly well. There were a couple weird decisions, like the A cover foil, which you could buy for like $8.99 was $9.99 if you bought it in the blind bag. And I did get one of those, so whatever. So that was kind of weird. But when it came to the DCKO one, we noticed a fairly significant drop off, both in pre-orders and also in the actual post sales. Now, that said, we've seen an uptick in sales after the fact with DCKO, because I think people didn't understand what it was. And now that they're seeing it, they're really getting it. And then this last week with Monster and the Wolf, I've not sold one outside of subs. And the scuttlebutt going around on the various forums and everything is that the mix is really bad. Although I watched a bunch of videos last night, like dudes opening 25 and 30, and the mix looked pretty darn good for when you were physically seeing people open stuff up. It wasn't the same as what you're hearing online, but that doesn't necessarily mean like I may have just hit the 10 dudes that got really good mixes. But yeah, we've heard that some people are getting 4 and 5 of the same color cover in a row. That a couple people have gotten multiple of like the 1 in 1,000 kind of thing. So it's kind of weird. And then I've noticed significant drop off in pre-orders on things like things like this one, the Mark Spears Monsters #8 was on FOC yesterday. And whereas we had a decent number of Monster and the Wolf, I saw a lot less. Now, this is also a #8 and not a #1, so there could be something there. Ultimate Endgame, it was pretty decent, but I think we still see more orders for cover A than we do for that cover. And I think, they're the same price. They're both $6.99. So there was no price difference, but people were going for the A cover over the blind bag.
I can tell you from experience in working on the production side of this, or at least having a view into the production side of this, with our friends at VFriends who have been blind bagging since before the Battle Beast book, that it's a real challenge in getting that mix right? Because these printers that are putting these together are not designed for it. I mean, they're not trading card printers. They are comics printers, and they're used to having, here's we have a list. We have 10,000 of this copy or this cover, 5,000 of this cover, 20 of this cover, and so on. They're used to that part, and they're used to shipping that way. And then once they're all blind bagged, they don't go through and shuffle them, which is what they need to be doing. There really needs to be some sort of shuffling process in order to do it properly. But it's going to take a little while. I personally hear what you're saying. I'm a bit more optimistic about how these are going to go. Because I feel like that there's a moment right now where live selling is so big for so many people, and this is just designed for live selling.
Yeah,
it 100% is. We had a few reports in the comments. Tommy saying that the blind bags are not for comic book customers. They are the trading card guys who like ripping things up. I buy that. I do. I think that's entirely it. I know when I bought a Battle Beast, I bought one, and then went, oh, well, this is not the Battle Beast the one that I got. So I went and bought a Battle Beast, just in the just the A cover, as it were. So yeah, I guess I buy that.
Which comic did you get in your Battle Beast?
Did
you get the Marvel team up, or
no? I got an Invincible book.
Oh yeah, Invincible. Yeah, that's the one I got too. 19.
It would be funny if I went, I don't know, the one that everybody wants to spend hundreds of dollars on. But no, I'm not that lucky. Jeremy's doing well just opening them, right? And selling them right next to the blind bags, which makes complete sense.
That's smart. Yeah. I was thinking about that too, because people are trying to get specific covers of the like Mark Spears monsters, and maybe it makes sense to crack them open and leave them out.
He's still debating doing that as well. Dave Thompson said Comic Ferret sold out on the first day. Always curious to know, what does that mean? Like, did you order heavy and sold out, or did you order light and sell out? That's really a retailer to retailer thing. But yeah, I think, and Jeremy's kind of agreeing with you. I think that we have a long way to go before we decide this,
For sure. Yeah. I mean, but that doesn't make a good headline.
It really does not.
Blind bags, still a long way to go before we find out whether or not they're dead. That's no take. That's no take. There we go. That's interesting. David Thompson there. Blake, if you want to pop him up.
Yeah, sure.
No. See, this is why I didn't do it. Went lighter on the Ultimate Endgame blind bag. The DCKO blind bag, I think, will have legs. We've also seen an uptick in sales. So I'd be interested in knowing why David thinks, because they're both number ones, and they're both number ones of a fairly large event with a finite end. Why do you have more sense that the DC one will do better than the Ultimate Endgame? Because this kind of speaks to a larger overall DC Marvel thing. Be really, really curious with that.
Yeah, I did hear from one retailer I talked to specifically about the Monsters book, who his position. And this is a fairly decent sized retailer with multiple locations and has really good instincts on this. He essentially said, this is not a comic book. These are trading cards.
Yeah.
These are trading cards that happen to have, pages to keep the covers from flapping against each other.
Very much so. Because even on the back, you have like the collect them all kind of listing of all the covers that are available. So yeah.
I will say that what Kyle's talking about here makes a lot of sense for me, because I was watching when the first Batman one came out. I was watching Whatnot, and there would be people that would just set up their little easel, put that blind bag there, go up to like $17, and then they would open it, and that's the one you got, right?
Yeah.
And I think that model could work. I don't know. I'm really curious to see how this goes along, but I think it will be people like Jeremy and Tommy, the people that are going to be really careful with it. They're going to make money with it. They're going to find new strategies. So
for sure.
I still think, I still think we have, if nothing else, the production time it takes to build these things means that we're going to be looking at them for at least a year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I never gamble with more money than I can afford, but it does. The amount of space that these take up is non-trivial, right? Like, man, I have 3 short boxes right now of just blind bag stuff, and the number of short boxes I want of anything is zero. I would like that all translated into dollars and have 0 things on my shelves.
Well, someday you'll become a real boy retailer, and you'll have to have things on your shelves.
I don't want things. I want less things, even if it like. So this is a long story for later, but when I walk into a store and my brain automatically calculates how much is on the walls, and then I do the how long that's been on the walls and how long that will be on the walls. When I see that, my heart breaks when I walk into a place and it's $2 million worth of stock, and you're like, you are never going to sell anything above eye line right now. Like, it's just dead.
Eventually. No, I would say that, it's the long tail, right? The long tail is for product, and it's also for customers. You need this item may take a year or 2 years or 3 years in order to find a home. Now, did you pay the carrying costs on that? Did you continue to increase the price on it in order to manage that? Who knows? But all those things go into like running a business, and it's a collectibles business. There's a reason that the people who buy massive collections are able to do so well. And that's because they, because of markup, right? I still say it.
See, Jeremy's saying that's my number one issue right there. Jeremy,
he says, no patience.
No, sir. I am short term. Let's get this turned over. There's another wave coming next week, people. I do not have time nor space to continue these waves.
I believe you. I definitely believe you. All right. Let's get into our friends at Marvel. Man, I wish I knew what was happening at Marvel. They are getting we have not been able to put together a strong enough viewpoint of the data in a little while, but the data I am seeing is that DC is just walking Marvel around the park.
Yeah.
And I really wonder what's going on when they take this line that has done so well and they're saying it's coming to an end. Any ideas?
Yeah, so reading kind of a bunch of news stories that came out on the weekend, this is very much Dan Buckley's decision, apparently. But it's kind of supported by everyone. Like Hickman said, I'm leaving after 24, so he did his 24 issues on Ultimate Spider-Man. Peach Momoko apparently has been churning out monthly books for, I think it's at 20. So she's going to do 24, and then she needs a break because she's just that's just insane.
Well, the kind of work she's doing, that's like mangaka kind of schedule. Exactly. She does not have a life.
Yeah, exactly. And Ultimate Wolverine was supposed to be 12 issues, but they extended it to 16. And so the only one left was Dennis Camp, and he said, like, if everybody else is closing up shop, I'll close up shop too. But he had whole plans for Hawkeye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But apparently it was just like, this is a natural. And the scuttlebutt among our retailer friends is like, this is your one thing that is doing really, really well for me. Like, I've seen zero drop off on any of the, and in fact, we've seen probably a 10% year over year increase. And so if you take away, let's arbitrarily say 100 comics that I'm selling every month, what are you replacing that with? Because it better not be another Amazing Spider-Man title or the 6th Daredevil or apparently the 5th Punisher, which we're doing right now.
Oof. It's gotta be, I mean, hopefully it is something like Ultimate, something like Absolute, something that can be somebody's first comic again.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing that's killing me is like, what is the thing that gets the kids in again? Because right now, largely, we're seeing a lot of kids reading the Ultimate line. And will we have like Ultimate X-Men, which is decidedly not for me, is 110% for my daughter. And she loves it.
Yeah.
But she will not be reading another comic when that goes away. And Peach, God bless her, needs probably 6 months off. She's probably in 2 casts right now. Like just like, I can't even imagine. So yeah, I'm hoping there's a plan, but like we haven't really heard. And that's one of the big things is that the announcement at New York Comic Con was this thing ends, and there was no and this thing begins second part of that conversation. And Marvel's kind of struggled at those things lately. Is like this was their one bright spot in the last couple of years that just hit real big. So yeah,
and honestly showed the way, right? It really showed the way, I think, for everybody, which was it's time to start. Like I said, it's time to start bringing somebody's first comic to the shelves. So you need something that is easy to pick up. Somebody for like people like your daughter who are like they grew up on Dogman. They need something that is simple. They grew up on Smile. They want something but they've always wanted to understand X-Men. They've always wanted to understand Spider-Man. They just haven't had one that's for them. You know,
she loves like manga, and this just hits that manga itch, right? And yet she's also getting that whole, interconnected universe that she's really enjoying too.
One of the stories that we did, I don't know if this made our cut on the deck, and if so, I'm talking about it early, was the fact that Image is now doing their compact line.
Right.
And that move towards that model of saying, okay, we know what this generation's looking for. We know what they're already comfortable for. This is how they're going to interact with comics. I think it's really, really smart. And I don't think it's really smart just because the Future is going to be doing that in December. You should pre-order it now. But yeah, I think it really is. Hopefully we're going to be able to pull this out because we need a strong Marvel, right? Strong Marvel and strong DC means strong comic shops, means strong distribution. It means so much for all of us. So
absolutely,
we have our hope.
Yeah.
By the way,
like this is, I hate seeing this because it's one of the big ones that really, really affected me more than any other of the desks because he was so young, and like John Cassidy was a healthy dude, right? Like
he was. He also liked to go hard.
Well, yeah, it's true, but
I'm not going to say who I was hanging out with in Baltimore because it will sound name droppy, but he talked about how that, he and John would go drinking a lot.
Yeah.
So, take care of yourself, please.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm asking you all, please. I like to drink too, but you have to balance that out.
Yeah. I not drink more than I drink. And when I drink, but I not drink a lot of the time.
And also, this is for people that may or may not be connected to us. Eat more fiber.
Yeah.
Eat more fiber. I'm looking at you. I see you on my little screen down at the bottom. Eat more fiber. Okay. but John Cassidy, one of the strongest artists we've ever seen. I know I'm going to be watching this Heritage auction just for grins and giggles because I don't have that kind of money right now. But man,
oh my gosh, yeah, some of the stuff has gone really so. The first page of Planetary #1 is on. I'm just going to pop this guy off.
Yeah, please.
Pop this guy on. So it's that's the first cover of Planetary. Great iconic cover. The real highway robbery though is the buyer's premium, an extra $1,000. Just I'm going to host a website. This goes back to a couple of weeks ago when we talked about doing this on your own website. Yeah, add the buyer's premium to your own website.
Yeah, there you go. Don't you want to be the buyer's premium? Don't you want to be collecting that?
Oh, yeah, there's some gorgeous pages here. Just like, and there's just a ton of really, really good stuff. Not to mention that this same auction has a bunch of Darwin Cook and Bruce Timm stuff in it. But these look at those. Oh, goodness!
Imagine having that on your wall, don't you? Yeah.
Right.
See that $1,000 if it stayed there, I can see that.
Yeah.
Hopefully my wife.
Well, $1,300 with the buyer premium, but
all right, that's fair.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's so much, but this is going to help his family, so it's even a good cause, right? And I think also having this stuff on people's walls is definitely a way to keep John Cassidy alive.
Amen.
And this is a really interesting thing. I would definitely check this out. It's at Heritage Auctions. If you just Google it, there's a Bleeding Cool article that happened recently. Check it out. There's some affordable pages too, and still like iconic, beautiful pages. And there's enough stuff on here that some of this stuff is going to go for a steal. So
no kidding.
Just want a 2-page panel of Colossus and Kitty Pryde from Astonishing X-Men.
Someday you're going to kick yourself for not paying that buyer's fee, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Buck Rogers, $130.
Damn.
I shouldn't be showing some of these because I think I may have to put some. Guys, the auction's done, it turns out. So sorry, folks. We'll have to talk about. Yeah.
But of November. Oh well, whatever. Sorry. Yeah.
You were in the news.
I was in the news. We were in the news. This show is in the news. Hi, Heidi, if you're watching. Thank you so much for promoting it because it got a lot of coverage in our area. I saw a lot of people pick it up on their socials. Last week we reported comics retailers up 18%. We even talked about the fact that their single issue sales were up 27%. I'm going to be very clear because apparently when I read myself in a transcript, I get annoyed with how many ums and ahs and backing up to clarify the things I have to say. So I'm going to be carefully say This data came from our buddy Django. Django, often in the chat. If you're there, say hi, bub. And he showed this to me from a cohort of, I want to say it was 36 retailers that we had solid data from. You and I both know the big challenge in trying to get this sort of POS data is every retailer, no matter what system they're working with, they're all special snowflakes and they all refuse to use it exactly the same way. So it's really difficult to get consistent data from all of them. So when you are talking about growth curves or you're trying to see the change over time, you really have to be very careful about isolating it down to a specific cohort that hopefully is big enough that it's accurate. But you're never going to get, like, say, the 400 or so stores. What are we at? 326. 326.
36 today. Right now.
We're never going to get all 326 of them to give us accurate data because they're all going to use it differently. So 36 stores were able to isolate down big, broad cross section of stores, some big, some small. And of them, we saw this increase from year over year. But I will say, having talked to, I'm sorry, Jeremy, I'm not a snowflake. I'm an ice warrior. You're goddamn right you are. Having talked to enough stores, I will say the majority of the stores I'm talking to are saying this. 20% over last year, 40% over last year. We're just having an incredible year. And that is powered by new comics, generally speaking, right? The single issue comics, the monthly comics that people have in their pull boxes and their trade. It's a wonderful time to be doing what we do. The wonderful.
Yeah, I did just like an informal kind of look at because this is my first year. So I looked at what Pete had done last year versus what I did. Now, some of that could also be attributed to just like, I have a different system that is a little more conducive to selling more stuff. Like he didn't have variant covers and stuff easily accessible. So I'm up like 20, I want to say 23 or 24% over what he did. And as a new business, that's pretty staggering too. I was super happy because we lost a few customers when we did the transition, but I've more than made up for it in volume since then. So I just want to mention a couple things. First of all, I'm scratching my lip there, despite what it may look like. It looks like I'm knuckles deep in that picture behind. I was scratching my lip, but every time I have my finger on my face, every one of these pictures, my finger's somewhere near. I got to keep my hands away from it. The one thing that I do take a little bit of umbrage with is that in the article, Heidi, if you're watching this, said that Managed Comics is used by more than 100 shops, which is true.
It is true,
but it's 3.6 times more than 100 shops. So yeah,
I suppose
360 something right now.
I did actually chat with Heidi, and we have one of the things we should be teasing is if you follow us on our socials, you'll see a lot of the conversations that we had at Baltimore this year in Comics the Lounge. We'll get into that in a minute. But Heidi did sit in the chair, and we talked about that fact. She goes, she's going to make a correction, but we're going to have an opportunity to actually dig deep into to a lot of this. So we'll get that for her. It's just on the list.
Yeah, no, I jest. Just one little shout out, which I didn't actually include in the rundown, but Mega Brain Comics, which is in upstate New York, Hudson Valley, they closed on the weekend, and that's Jean-Michel, great guy. Met him a few times. Really sad. I hate to see when, and it was such a cool comic store and just very inclusive, and it just didn't make it, which just sucks.
What I haven't seen this story. Did they give a reason why it didn't make it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things, but he's a dad of young kids, and it's tough being in retail, especially right now. It's you're being assaulted by so many different things at the same time. And unlike the burger shop where you can increase the price of your burger, you can't increase the cover price of a comic book. So yeah, it's so many different things. Rent's going up, the cost of labor has increased. It's all things that have to happen. Well, not the rent. The rent could probably afford to go cheaper, but people got to get paid what they're worth. And it just sucks that it's hitting comic shops so much. Yeah. Megan says the nicest person. He absolutely is great guy.
I do want to stress this is another good reason for your shop to distribute that risk over multiple categories. It's a wonderful reason to be selling collectibles, right? Because collectibles you can buy back from your customers and you control the markup, right? You control what you're paying. So it is a good reason for that. But I will say that it's always sad. It's always sad when one of these dreams dies. And honestly, the biggest reason that is sad is every data point I've seen says that when a shop like that closes, up to half of those customers just disappear. They don't go to another shop. They don't start buying online. They just disappear. They stop, which always says to me that the fans of those shops, those fans were fan of that shop primarily. And so we need you guys to stay healthy. Stay with us. Yes, because it is retail was and always will be tough. But there's a reason that direct market retailers are as consistent as they are. While all of those other shops have left, all those other brick and mortar stores have gone away, the comic shops are still so resilient for that reason. So anyway,
well, as much as I kind of joke about the incessant wave is also the reason that we have people that come into our stores every week, because the product mix is constantly changing. You can't miss 2 weeks and expect to see stuff still on the shelf. So
100%. Well, let's talk about a very special day on our calendar, and one that is now going to be crucial to the drama of distribution, seemingly. Free Comic Book Day. Once again, we're talking about this. We started talking about this, I would say, 2-3 months ago, when we we recognized that this is about the time that publishers were locking down what they're going to do for Free Comic Book Day, and there's no plan seemingly to get that logo, that trademark, away from the new owners of Diamond Comics. Well, since then, our new friends at Universal Distribution announced at New York Comic Con that they had purchased Free Comic Book Day as a trademark. Now, I'm going to be real careful in how we talk about this. So in doing so, I want to bring up a letter that we got. Let's go ahead and shut that down, remove that, and we'll add this. Okay, so I don't know if I can read this right there. Let's see if I can find it. I know we had a conversation about it recently. Can somebody give me this this text? Where did that go? Oh, I know. It was in my inbox. I'm just going to pull it up really quickly. This is what being prepared for a broadcast looks like, by the way, friends. Okay, here we go. Whatever's happening on the screen, I won't see because I'm reading this. We got this letter today from Lunar Distribution, our contact there, saying, on behalf of Christina Merkler, hello. We've recently received information about Free Comic Book Day 2026 about Universal's plans for next year's event. The plan is to limit the amount of publishers that will be able to participate, and all Free Comic Book Day titles will be distributed solely by Universal. We understand that this may prevent some publishers from participating at all. We are also aware that Universal/Alliance previously stated they plan to limit their new accounts to 500 brick and mortar stores only. We do not know if this will be the case for Free Comic Book Day signups. Lunar has a solution! ! We would like all of our publishers to have the opportunity to offer free bundles of comics to our accounts for the May 2nd, 2026 in-store events. We'd also like to offer all these accounts that wish to celebrate a great industry-wide event. If you're interested in soliciting bundles of comics to be given out for free on 5/2/26 to our retail accounts, please reach out to your vendor coordinator to receive the calendar requirements and in-warehouse expectations. Interesting.
Oh, what did I do? Well, Blake, you're in charge. Don't let me push buttons.
Let's get rid of that, and we'll get back to it. Okay, good. So, couple data points here. One, that there is a rumor floating around. I was trying to decide whether or not we're going to discuss it on this show. there's a rumor floating around that Universal's saying to all the publishers that are exclusive to other distributors that they need to come, that it's only going to be distributed through Universal. Now it should be, Universal's also saying that they will be industry wide after the first of the year. But those exclusive contracts would limit those publishers' ability to send product to Universal. So maybe, I don't know exactly what the plan was. I'm not sure. I was not involved in those discussions. I only heard the rumor. This announcement to publishers by Lunar does seem to indicate that they plan on making sure that there's going to be distribution of these books to all of the accounts that are available through the Lunar plan, especially for they now have an exclusive arrangement with Image and a non-exclusive arrangement with DC. That's all the data. It's going to be interesting to see. One way of looking at this is it's an opening volley of this ongoing.
We don't need another distributor war.
I don't think we do.
We're in the middle of a distributor war. We can't take another distributor war.
Don't really want a distributor war on top of a distributor war. It'd be fun to report on, but it'll be a pain in the ass to try and live through.
Yeah.
So.
I love Universal. I've been to Universal's office. I have a deep, abiding love of Angelo and Alessandro and everybody there.
Yes.
But their insistence on brick and mortar in 2025 is so perplexing, and so we could do an entire episode on just like the steadfast refusal to accept online ventures as an actual business, because I've said it before and I will gladly share my receipts. I guarantee you I spend more on shipping than most places spend on rent. I guarantee you I do more marketing than, most brick and mortar stores. And it's additive. It's not taking away. My customers do not live near comic stores by and large. And if they do, they cannot get to comic stores by and large. It's not the same thing, right? Like it's really frustrating for me. And like, I do want a brick and mortar presence, but in 2025, I don't understand how you would start a new comic store without starting it online and graduating to brick and mortar. You can't start brick and mortar and be in business 6 months later without, $250,000 up front. And if you got $250,000 up front, I can show you 25 businesses that might make you a better investment than starting a comic store. You got to really, really love that stuff.
I would say that that is the argument that wins me over. On the one hand, having been a comic shop and having worked with comic shops my entire career, I would say that I understand the desire to protect the value of the brick and mortar comic shop. I completely understand that desire. As we go further along, it is that new comics store piece that I find the hardest to argue with, because where else are they going to come from, right? Where else are they going to come from except for the eBay store that graduates to having its own site, that graduates to a industrial space that they leave open, 3 or 4 days a week, that graduates to a brick and mortar in a chain retail or in a strip mall. How else are we going to see those new stores open? I don't entirely know. I don't know how you encourage people to open new stores except by growing up that sort of farm team. It is a tough argument to make, but truthfully, as you said, Angelo and Alessandro, I've only interacted with them a couple times. I think they're fantastic people. I would say that they hired two of my favorite people in this industry, Tim Lanahan and Nance Romer, and others out of the Diamond team. I think they are going to do an incredible job for the clients that they do have, for the customers that they do have. I worry that they are missing a bet here, but it may just be that this is the, step one was 500 stores. Step two is brick and mortar. Maybe step three is more open. Hopefully that is that plan, right? That could be it. But boy, oh boy. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and Jeremy points out.
Sorry, I was going to throw Blake first. So yeah, absolutely. Like if you're not building that retail audience before you open that shop, no matter what you're doing, that's a recipe for disaster. No matter what the industry is. If you've got a coffee shop coming and you don't build that coffee shop audience before you get that coffee shop open, you're going to fail. The same thing with a comic store, and even more so because you have to build that Wednesday warrior mentality. Jeremy says, why? So they're not encouraging you to close down. It's additive, right? So it's like they say you can have both.
Someday we're just going to have Jeremy on this show just so that he can argue with us in public. Although we'll end up, because I know he refuses to leave behind the counter, we'd end up hearing people ask him about their polls. But leveraging all that profit and ongoing overhead is not the best solution if you're making money online. You're right, but getting people to come in and creating community and getting that consistent revenue that comes from a retail store. There's a reason that direct market stores are, for everyone that we see 2 more open. Right. There's a reason. It's because they are such consistent cash flow stores. They do legitimately, there is no other retail I can think of that people go to once a week, not since the newsstand died,
Yeah.
So there we are. I think it's going to be an ongoing conversation. I do hope that we find some stasis where all the now 3 distributors come in and are bringing value to each of the stores, and that the stores are able to use all 3 of them to their best advantage. That's what I'm hoping for.
Sure.
I really want this to find. I want peace. Can we not have peace?
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I love what Universal's doing and their whole take on, like, let's take that gaming footprint and grow it into comics. I think that's great. 10,000 game stores, 2,500 comic stores, right? It totally makes sense. But yeah, there's also, I would say probably a third of my comic stores that use managed comics are online only, right? And those people are shut out of a lot of conversations.
100%.
That doesn't seem right to me.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to find it. We're going to find it, and people are going to understand it. I would even also call out to our friends at Comics Pro to consider that. Like, that's something.
I've been calling this out for a while.
There should be some way for them to participate in the conversation that Comics Pro keeps alive.
Not only that, but like
the larger, stronger ones, right?
Yeah, like I could use some of the guidance that Comics Pro could definitely give me into building that next step. What are the things that need to go in? I couldn't even tell you how to negotiate a net or a gross or a pie lease. Like, I don't know, right? So I'm going to go to my local business organization and talk to them about that stuff, and some dude that doesn't know what he's doing is going to tell me, or I could talk to Comics Pro people who actually have that information. There's so much potential here, but that's a whole other episode.
That is, maybe we should do that. I think that's interesting, because it is a position that I think is worth fighting for, is this conversation. All right, thank you so much for the chatter in the comments on this one. Yes, this one is going to be fascinating to watch, and I look forward to reading your comments on this even after we shut this thing down here in 15 minutes. How did we already fill 45 minutes? All right,
oh my gosh, to talk about yes, let's talk.
Baby's first convention.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
Kids, we're talking about Comics the Magazine, something that I've been doing with a few partners, including Gabe and Joe, who have been that were in the pre-show banter and in the chat, and Megan, we could not do this without. It is going to be a magazine on shelves in March. It is going to be about comics, about everything that is about comics. It's going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good time, and I think you're going to want to spend your $2.99 on it every single month. Can I show you something real cool? I know we're probably going to be tight on time.
Do it. That's fine.
I got this from
it's our show, Adam. We can go as long as we want to.
Goddamn right we can. All right. I got this from our printer. So this is the Comics Magazine. This is Zero that we've been giving away, right? Oh yeah, there you go. We'll throw in a copy if you win the trading card. So if you have not put in the hashtag, what was it? What was the hashtag?
Insiders. Hashtag
insiders.
insiders.
Right there. It's at the bottom of the scroll. Please do right now, because we want to make sure that you're in the. But I got this in. Megan, you haven't even seen this. This is the metal plates. The printing plates. And there's 4 of them because there's 4 colors.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm proud of this thing. So I said to the printer that I want to make sure that they that we have everything that was, this one's I'm gonna put this on my wall. So yeah, anyway, we did our first comics convention. We did a booth where we had Comics the Lounge, where we talked to people about what are the biggest risks facing our industry? What are the things that give you hope? And what do you want from a magazine? And we got some amazing responses that we're going to be posting. I think we decided earlier today, every Monday and Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday, we'll be posting little shorts of these on our socials. So make sure that you are subscribed. Too late. You can't call dibs. No way, Gabe. No dibs. This is going to be, this has been so much fun. We gave away I think something like 500 copies of Comics the Magazine, number 0, and we also represented our other clients. You can see the Future is there. You can see the Source Point cards that we gave out. It was a good time. It was, I cannot tell you, I love that show so much. And we even got a quick interview with Mark Nathan, the head of that show. And I think that we're going to be doing that. What did we learn? Man, I can't even tell you. You know what I learned is that this sort of optimism that we're seeing, it comes from every part of our industry right now.
Absolutely.
Every creator I talk to, everybody at distribution, everybody all the retailers I talked to they were planning, like they were looking forward, they were building. And I think that's the thing that gets me this most excited. We also did the Ringos. We sponsored the Ringos and had Comics the Magazine in the very famous giveaway bag that was in there, along with TFI and our friends at V Friends, all there. Go to the Ringos, kids. It's a good time. I don't go to any of the other award shows anymore. I do go to the Ringos for a very simple reason. And that's, like I said, it's the comics family. It's that feeling of we're all hanging out and we're all in this together. And it was our very first comic show. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a proud papa.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, this is a huge, I texted you one night a couple weeks ago and said, I've not earned this right, but I'm so proud of you. Like
you should be
so cool what you've done. And I think it's
we did learn. Don't buy a steamer on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also Rico Renzi, man, that dude is a superstar. He really should have been there with us as we signed the books and talked about them, because they really did. I mean, I can't stress enough how excited people were. It was we got a lot of really great opinions. We also got a lot of really great submissions. So if you are interested in writing about comics, if you have something that you are really passionate about in the comic space, let us know, because we talked to some really incredible thinkers, some really incredible, exciting people that already create content, and some people who already are creators in our industry who want to write for this magazine and create, new pieces. It's gonna be a good time. And if you want in, you gotta go sign up for the newsletter at comicsthemagazine.com, which is glorious, by the way. It's a pretty little website.
It's not bad. It's come along. I think it'll come along even better. Yeah.
Awesome. What else are we talking about? Oh shoot! This week.
Oh, this is huge. This is huge, people.
Comics Pro, we mentioned them earlier. They're doing their annual open house. This is a digital open house. You don't have to go to Glendale to visit. You can log in. It's free to everybody, whether you're an online store or not, despite the fact that they may be looking down their nose at you.
Yeah, and whether you're a Comics Pro member or not, too, which is huge.
True. please, if you are in any way involved in this space, you should do it. We did not pull up the card, but our even Prana's bookkeeper, Goodwin, is going to be doing a presentation on doing keeping books and accounting for stores, for small stores, and making sure that they are in good space. We are doing an open house. We are doing a presentation. When I say we, I mean our friends at REDACTED Comics. They are going to be doing an entire presentation on protecting your data and to keep yourself safe from hackers. And to do that, not only do we have Jason Blanchard of REDACTED Comics, but we have this guy who is a straight up legend in the hacker space. This man named Bo Bullock, who works for Black Hills Information Security. This dude is like, you talk to hackers, and this dude is notorious. Like, seriously, people are both scared and admiring him. And he puts all of his efforts into keeping people safe. They're going to teach you how to keep your shit safe and not get hacked.
Awesome. Yeah,
so
that's amazing. And
I wish, speaking of Diamond, I wish they had this kind of training before they, Anyway.
So is that's on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern?
That's correct. This is on Thursday. It's going to be a 1-hour class. There's going to be Q&A. You're going to be able to participate. And we're going to be using the comments and the questions to help us grow an even larger class that we hope to present to retailers. Just about keeping all of your data in both safe and manageable, right? Also, we're all in a process now of collecting this data every single day. And you are going to be, speaking of data,
look at me. I know. If you want to know more about managed comics, there's a 20-minute presentation at, I've only got it in Eastern. It's 1:25 Eastern. I think that's like 10:25 Pacific.
That sounds right. Yeah.
So yeah, that will happen. And then there's like a 10-minute break, and then we're jumping into this. So we grabbed Morgan Perry. It's myself, Django, and Katy Perry is going to moderate it. And I think we might try and snag one more person in this little mix. So the idea would be to have a retailer, publisher, the two quote unquote POS folks. And then also I'll be wearing my Comet hat at the same time. It's fancy. It's got frills. And then Katie will be moderating the whole thing. And we're just going to talk about kind of the chaotic nature of data and how we've been moving towards this Comet standard. But there's been a lot of chaos that's happened this last year. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but it's not been great. And
it would have been easier with a standard that everybody was working from, right? I think that's the key. Had we moved to this standard before, a lot of the pain points that we've dealt with over the last year in changing up the distribution would have been mitigated.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
You know,
I think also like the next step of Comet is really about education and, you know, acceptance of it and really getting it into, like, it's great that the big heads have got their heads wrapped around it, but now we have to make you understand why it's important, right? Like it needs to, the best of anything gets pushed up, not forced down. So now we've just got to do a better job of getting that information out. But yeah, I think this is definitely one of the steps towards it. I'm excited. Jazzed.
Let's talk about this other step. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, we launched a new website last night. If you go to managedcomics.com right now, you're going to see this great new website that is finally live and that talks about the two paths of managed comics, Oryx and Ordo. And so if you're on Shopify, Ordo is your choice. If you're on any other system, you're going to go down the Oryx path. They're both great together. They do the same kind of stuff, but yeah, it's pretty. I like the site. It's nice.
Yeah, it's like somebody who knew what they were doing to make sites made it. It's
well, occasionally, yeah, that guy knows.
How many sites have you cranked out this month?
This is I think officially my 4th, but unofficially I believe 6, because I did 2 others that I've not really been promoting, but there's
all at the same time of saving comics, right?
Yeah, well, that's just what I do. I'm also working on a site for a home builder that's got a really cool plan selector, which we won't talk about that on this show, but it's kind of cool. I love it because that kind of stuff always puts my brain into motion on, how could I apply this to comics?
That's so good. What else is coming up?
On Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, I will be at the Future of Thursday, October at 1:25 p.m. Eastern time. Oh yeah, because the whole thing starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be at the Future of Managed Comics presentation. It's about 20 minutes long. Just putting it together now. It should be amazing. And people should join us and see how cool. If you've ever looked at Managed Comics before, you didn't see anything. You're going to see something totally different now. It's way different and way better. So excited.
I am too, man. It's an exciting time for all of us that work in this field. There's so much changing. There's so dynamic, and it's an opportunity for people to grow and build. Right? It's like an opportunity for all of us to save comics. So
I've had this on my desk for like 2 years now that we were going to hit 300 stores, and we did it, and I didn't even realize it. Literally happened on a weekend where we just blew past it, and I was like, oh man. So now our new goal is 400 by the end of the year and 500 by mid-year next year,
which makes you the largest representative group in comics, right? Except for the distributors, you basically have the largest representation of any organization in comics, including Comics Pro, right?
And we know stuff before they do, because customers are subscribing to things the moment they're solicited. So we know stuff way before the distributors do. So there's definitely a ton of stuff I want to do with that, because I think we'll talk. You and I'll talk.
We'll talk some more. Once again, just if you have not already, please do us all a favor and go to pranadm.com. That's PRANADM. Dog is in dog. D is in dog. M is in many dogs.com. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
We did it. We filled the whole hour. Well, I guess we got one solid minute left.
You're always shocked when we do.
I know.
Always surprised. I don't think we got enough this week, Brian. And every week it's like,
I know.
I could talk about
any of
guitar strings for 4 hours if you want.
I know. Oh, please don't do
that. Well, there is a reason they're called Slinky, and we won't get into that.
Okay. Let's see. You know what? That's a great idea. One of the things that we've been talking about is how we can more closely integrate the needs of the retailers and the publishers in our weekly feed of content. And listen, these things happen in increments, but we are determined to keep doing that. And you're right, Jeremy, that has been on the list for a while, and will remain on the list till we get it done. And it'll just become standard, and then we'll say, all right, what's next?
There's one Facebook group out there, a retailer Facebook group, and they do a weekly review every week, and it's become something I actually rely on, because it's not just it's showing a bigger picture. And sometimes there's stuff that just flies by my radar because I don't care about it. And when I see those people caring about it, like, oh, I should probably look at this.
Can I give?
So yeah, it's really interesting.
Can I give one little piece? I don't know which one you're talking about, but I know that I've seen these kinds of lists in the past. What I think one of the things, if I have a beef, I'm going to give one quick hot take, even though we're going to go a little bit over, which is that I think if you're going to do those lists as a retailer, if you're doing them for each other or you're doing them for your staff, focus on what's good.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Don't focus on the opportunity for snark. Don't focus on the opportunity to like pull something down or warn people off of something, because that's not helpful. It's not helpful for anyone.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the one I'm thinking of is always additive. It's you don't miss this. You may have slept on it. So I really like it.
Yeah. And a shout out to our buddy, our buddy Matthias, who is doing the Bluesky show. Oh, Blake, why don't you come up and help us figure out this insiders thing? I'm
Yes.
pulling you on the stage. Let's do it.
Do we have the technology?
We have the technology. Are we ready?
Oh, look at that. We do.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
7 entries. It's a 1 in 7 chance.
1 in 7 chance. Here we go.
Let's go. Who's gonna get it?
It's me. It's me. I just know it. Oh, Ray Silas has come up. So
Hey, look at that.
Nice. Congratulations, Jeremy.
Congratulations, Jeremy Shore. I think we know exactly where you are. So we're gonna
know where to find you.
He's behind the cash register at Titan Comics. You will
Titan
find
Comics
him there
Dallas,
every day.
Where he doesn't leave, the little known fact about Jeremy, he eats the same sandwich every day. Comes to him every single day. Yes, this is a man who's a machine.
What's the sandwich?
I don't know. I think he changed the sandwich when he decided to get a little slimmer. As you should, Jeremy. What's the sandwich? What do you eat? What do you eat every day, buddy? We're gonna hold out. We're gonna hold out. Somebody vamp until Jeremy tells us what.
My dad used to do repo. Like he would like drive a camera car to find bad plates, and he lived like every day for lunch. He would go to Quick Trip and get a Diet Coke Zero and a Quick Trip jalapeno cheddar hot dog, and he ate that Monday through Friday every day.
That's amazing.
And he's like the pickiest eater. Anyway,
yeah.
Now he doesn't like
jalapenos. Actually, might add some fiber to that. There,
fiber.
Comics and bowler hat just for Jeremy. Someday
the
we're gonna
branding
get
is
that.
limitless.
I gotta say, you guys are missing the fact that it has to be comics, the magazine, the bowler hat.
You're right. You're right. It's easier to go straight to the comics, the bowler hat.
That's not the part of the gig, though. Turkey wrap with tomatoes and pickles and horseradish. Oh yes, from Jimmy John's. Is that JJ?
I think it's Jimmy John's.
So, yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it. 100%. Yeah. All right. That's it, kids.
We can all sleep better tonight, knowing that he's getting that sandwich.
I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank every single one of you who has bought comics this week, every single one of you who sold comics this week, mostly the people who are making the comics this week. And for those of us who try and be the connective tissue through all of you, thank you, everybody, for saving comics this week, because we're going to need them next week. So
that should be our tagline. Keep saving comics.
Isn't that good?
Go forth and save comics.
Go get it.
I love it. I love it.
All right, Blake, you ready?
I'm ready.
Namaste, y'all.